Welcome to Kelly Day Goals, where we want to help our kids learn to love God and actually like each other. And I'm just here hoping to maybe share some helpful tips along the way that you can implement with your family as well. I want to talk about kids and outside time today. It has been so cool for me to see the 1,000 hours outside movement just blow up with a lot of my friends. I learned about that many years ago through another YouTuber. I thought it was really neat. It was like pre-app times that I knew about the 1,000 hours and that we used to do it. Now, I have to tell you, the app changed the game for us. It was much easier for me to keep track of our hours once it was on my phone and had that clock. Just became a much more doable thing for us to accomplish than for me to use my mom brain to try and remember to come home and mark off the hours that we spent outside and all that jazz. So if you're familiar with it, you probably are. You have probably heard Jenny talk about how important outside time is, or you've heard other people talk about it. It is, truly, if you think about loving God and liking your siblings, then spending time outside is great for both of those things. Spending time outside helps you to see God's creation and appreciate and love Him more for the beauty and the world that He's made for us to live in. And it also is healthy for us, and it helps us burn off steam and energy and create memories with siblings and family and friends. And there's just so many benefits to it, right? So I wanted to talk about this today because a fellow homeschool mom recently asked, how do we get outside time when it is so crazy hot outside? And if you don't know, my family and I live in Florida. This mom had just moved to Texas from up north. So I want to start with that. I don't know much about up north, but when I imagine winters in the north, I imagine a lot of cozy, warm time snuggled around a fire inside. And then maybe a few excursions going out into the snow and the cold when it's not like a blizzard. And so I would say if that's true, and if you understand that concept, then maybe try to flip it and imagine summers in the South kind of the same way. In much the same way that the North probably spends a lot of time outside in the summer, down in the South, we spend a lot of time outside in the winter. To this homeschool mom who just moved to Texas, come winter, you will probably have your windows open all the time and your doors open, and it'll be gorgeous, and your kids will be running in and out, and they will be spending so much time outside then. You will be spending so much time outside then. It'll just be so lovely out. For us in the South, and I feel like I can speak for most Floridians here at least, that is how our winter is. It's just gorgeous. But in the summer, as much as we love being outside, it is almost unbearable. And this is what I would say, unless you're in the water. That would be my answer, is you have to find water. So I'm fortunate enough that we can go to the beach, we can go to the causeway, we can go out on the boat, we can go to a pool or a water park. Those are some of our favorite ways to be in the water. But if you don't have a lot of extra money to spend, or maybe you don't have an extra vehicle to use and you're kind of just stuck at home with kids, it's totally doable. And I think now is the perfect time to talk about this too, because it is so hot. And a lot of the fun water type toys are going on sale right now. So now is really a great time. If it's still really hot where you are, it's a great time to invest in those, because you can use them for a couple months here still, and then pull them back out next spring when it's starting to warm up again. So I would suggest, for moms specifically, I have shared this in other videos before, but my mommy pool was one of the best investments I've ever spent, and it was about $30. I just saw them on sale for $15. So Mine came from Sam's Club, but I have seen them at Target, on Amazon, all over the place. I think if you call it a tanning pool, I'm looking at it, which is like trying to help me think. I think if you call it a tanning pool, you will find it. It's essentially like a one-person pool. And mine came with like a little pillow and a cup holder, literally on sale right now for $15. I call it the mommy pool because I also got my kids a separate inflatable pool that I think was like 6x10 or something, and it was, I think, $40 on Amazon, which means you could probably find them at stores right now for even cheaper. And it's a great size for them. My kids are 8 and 5, so they're not like real big kids who could use a big pool. Now, do we love having a big pool to go to sometimes? Absolutely, and they can definitely burn more energy in one of those. But as far as just getting outside, but also keeping cool, it works wonderfully for that. So they get to go in their pool, and then nobody but mommy, and sometimes I share it with daddy, gets to get in the mommy pool. I love it. It's great. It's just a good way. Just a few inches of water can cool your body off so much. So along those same lines, we've also had before different types of sprinklers. There's a ton of different types of sprinklers, or inflatable water slides. Those are going on sale right now. That's a little bit of a bigger investment financially and space-wise. But I have a friend who doesn't have a pool. She has 3 little boys, and they just had all summer a permanent inflatable water slide set up in their backyard, and they just absolutely loved it. You can buy inflatable splash pads that are really fun. The options are endless. Even when my kids were really little, just having a water table on the back porch, one of those little Tykes water tables, they loved just standing on it, and not on it, but like, at it, and like playing with it with their hands and splashing around. That was what I did with my kids when they were like 1 and 2, and it was summertime and I wanted to help them get outside. I just put it on the back porch and they would play in that. So there's just so many different options, but I think the main answer is water. And also along with that, I would say some sort of very cold drink, whether it be a slushie or a snowball or a popsicle or an ice cream cone, just anything that's very, very cold to help internally, like cool off your core temperature as well, is the other answer. So if you are struggling to figure out how to get your kids outside this summer with this crazy heat, then maybe invest in some water toys and it will help you do it. If you're able to go do some of the other things I said, like a water park or a pool or anything like that, that's always really fun too. And maybe those could be saved for like special family outings. But just on a regular basis, it's really helpful to just have a little bit of water that you can cool yourself off in. So that's how we do it. I know I heard another mom say her answer was just to accept the fact that those days when you're outside are going to be a 2-shower day. And I thought that was hysterical because it's true. If you can just accept it, that you're gonna get hot and sweaty, then that helps definitely with your mindset. But for the most part, you got to get in the water. All right, I hope you are able to enjoy some AC and some water soon. Have a good one.